something very important I think young people should take seriously, both men and women, is marriage.
Marriage.
Okay.
Wow. I
Yes.
wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, you may not. It's very possible. The women think the women are more conscious about marriage than men.
Mhm.
Okay, there are a lot of factors to it, but men
Wow.
don't think about marriage at all. They just think of good time until one time it just occurred to a man that I think I want to get married. That's the only thing my dad told me when I was leaving Nigeria was, remember the son of whom you are.
Oh, that's all.
That's the only thing he said. Okay. And that thing registered in my head. Okay. And now it registers in my head and I sing that to my children every day. The parents or the home has major role to play. What is happening now is that it's like we're almost losing home. The home is less than 40% value that people get from home. People are concerned so much about education. They're concerned about the school. They think the school will make the children, but it's not true. Home will make the children. We give them the right value they have, and then the school will only moderate for them. Every human being is determined by heredity and environment. Heredity coming from your parents and environment where you live. Okay, the combination of the two determines who you are.
Hey, you're welcome to JCI Journey series. With me, I have a very incredible guest, JCI Senator GWO Shoaga. I've been anticipating this session with you. I've had several people on this podcast, and most of them have been referencing you. They've been mentioning your name, and I've been feeling like, okay, who is this person? How can I get this person on board? Until I had JCI's editor wrote to me, Sadiq, and he said he can help me make it happen, and he did well to make it happen. Thank you so much for making our time for this podcast, sir. You are very welcome.
Thank you very much. It was a very difficult time, but thank God I'm able to make it.
I'm so happy. So before we dive into JCI matter, I really want to know how, or the family setting that brought you up. How was it like growing up as a child in a family?
Wow, that's a big one. First, I was born in Congo, Brazzaville.
Wow.
My parents are always traveling. They are traders, so they travel a lot. And usually, most of us were born in Congo, Brazzaville. And then when we're getting to schooling age, they usually bring us to our parents, sorry, our grandparents, their own parents.
Wow.
My grandparents of course live in Abeokuta. So I grew up with my grandparents at my primary school level. Okay. My family setting in Abeokuta is a very big family. At a point in time, you will have about 20, 25 grandchildren together. My grandmother, my grandfather, and you see uncles, aunties, and all that. So it's a very large family and a very large setting for us. So I grew up eating from a big pot. They cook as if we were having party every day in my house. Growing up, and then every weekend, my grandfather is always hosting the chiefs of Abeokuta. So every weekend is like a party for us. Until I'm out of primary school, then I have to go to Lagos. Okay, that was when I moved to Lagos. And then initially I started my secondary school in Comprehensive High School, Aitoro. Okay, that's where I started. I finished primary school in 1967. By 1968, I was at Comprehensive High School, Aitoro. But again, I fell ill within the period for almost 2 years.
Wow.
So until finally I have to move to Lagos, and then I restarted my secondary school in 1971. And then I was in boarding house. My experience as a young student in boarding house is the fact that I have a lot of freedom because my parents were not there. I'm either with my auntie or my uncle. If I choose to, and they always send money to our accounts. That's myself and my siblings. So we always have money in our account. But for every holiday, we decide where we want to go, whether we go to our grandparents or go to any of the aunties. But most times I go with my friends, and then maybe a week to 2 weeks to the end of the holiday, I go to my auntie so they can pack the stuff I need for the hostel for me. Okay. Yeah, that's how it has been then till the end of my secondary school, 75. Then I started A levels, but in between my A levels, after first year, I have to travel out. Before then, I actually got admission to Unilag for law. But my mom insisted that I can't study law. But whatever ignorance, what I experienced, I think basically one of our first cousins, who was a prominent lawyer at that time, actually died in politics. And then she has that phobia that none of our children will study law or go to politics. So at the end of the day, I have to forego that and then travel out after my first year in my A levels, and then travel out of the country, precisely to Mexico. So that has been my journey as a young man. But as a young man in Lagos, I had a wonderful time. Because in high school, I moved with a lot of people that are far older than me. Because I play football and I run, athletics is in thing there. So which give you a lot of tools, So because I participate in those things, I have most of my seniors move with me. And that also exposed me to so many social life so early. I mean, I start from 2, I could sneak and go and see what's going on in Fela in Shrine, Fela's place, at that time. And then it was a wonderful experience for me as a young man. And then my uni life too was wonderful. I had a good time.
But that was in Mexico.
Yes.
Okay.
I think I had a little rough time because within the period, within the third year, my parents were not, for whatever reason, they couldn't send money to me. So, and that was a difficult time. Okay, I was not working as a student, and then that became very challenging. Well, not to bore you about that. Eventually, I went through it. I discovered some skills from there.
Okay.
A Japanese friend of mine actually encouraged me to stop lamenting that my parents don't send money to me. I should find a way to solve my problem. And she encouraged me to sell some of the stuff I have. And to me, as a young man, it was painful to say I want to sell my items to make money. But I did because she encouraged me, and we met at the school gate. You can imagine somebody meeting at the entrance of a university and then set up a sales point there. Before I got there, she already there. She brought some of the things she brought from Japan. And then brought some things I had from Nigeria. In the short story, we were able to, by the end of the day, we sold a lot of things and we realized that we made almost about $5,700.
Wow.
At
Oh,
that
that's a
time.
lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. And then that was how I was able to go back to school, pay my house rent. And that was also what led me to textile.
Wow.
Most things we sold so high. Things we sold so high were stuff that I brought from Nigeria and she brought from Japan. And then
Oh,
when we realized that she was a textile major. At that time, she was doing her second degree in textile. Her first degree was in textile. So she encouraged me to come
okay.
and take some studios. So I started doing some studios, which of course far from my own course. Okay, but I entered into it and then fine. And that was how I discovered how to produce Adire while I was abroad, And
Wow.
I started producing Adire. We started getting somebody that was sew. She will cut, we take it to somebody, she will sew for us. And we're making a lot of money from them. So for
Wow.
my
Awesome.
last 3 years again in school, the first 2 years I got scholarship. My final year, I didn't need money from anybody. That was when I was doing the master's. Well, for my undergraduate, I got scholarship because there's what you call Dean Point. If you study hard, you're able to make Dean Point. They will give you a semester scholarship. If you can make it
Okay.
consistently for about 3 times, then you can get 1 year scholarship. And then that's how I
Wow.
was lucky to get 2 year scholarship. And I finished that and went for my master's. And then at the end of the master's, let me go home and let's see what happens. Actually, I was thinking
Wow.
going home temporarily and to go back again, but I never did.
Okay.
I never did.
Oh,
But
wow.
that
Wow.
was
Wow.
the
So
story.
I have a question there, but I'm
Yeah.
curious because this was, let's say, 50 years back, 40 years back. How were you
Yeah.
able to remember to organize this together? Is this something you have planned to share before, you've shared before?
You mean sales or what?
No, I mean, how were you able to remember your journey in details to be able to share even with dates, with specific,
Oh, come on.
timeline and all?
You can't forget such experiences. You know,
Oh, really?
um, yeah, I still remember everything I learned in secondary school, for example, at least say 70% of what I learned in secondary school. So
You
when
must
I
be a
talk to young
genius, sir.
people, no, not necessarily. I think the method of studying now and then was different, because when I talk
Oh,
to some people now, they will say, in a long time they left school. And I just laugh. I say, wow, come, you can't remember, you know. Uh, for us, I mean, study means you know the subject so you can teach somebody else. And that's what happened.
wow.
So, and again, those experiences are experiences that actually make me who I am, you know.
Mm,
And then there are landmark experiences in my life. So I can never
yeah,
forget such
true.
experiences. I never forget them,
Wow.
you know.
Wow. So you mentioned that you were playing football while you were in school. You were part of
Yeah.
associations, communities. How important is that in your journey? Because right now and I want to cite this example because your own days you had little or less distraction. In our own days, we have a lot of distraction. So we spend more time on our phone than connecting with people. How important is connecting with people, or how has it helped you, and how can we adjust to that kind of lifestyle?
Well, everything with its own gains and its own shortfalls, Um, I believe you have a lot of opportunity now, which to me,
Mm,
it can also be a disadvantage, if you want to put it that way. But I want to look at the merits of it more. So it's matter of individual to say, okay, fine, how do I moderate what I want here? How do I do without losing my focus? You know, that's what, because then, I mean, there's nothing for a young man to do than, you know, the only way, I mean, in my own family background, the only thing you can do is to go to school. There's no option. Even to play ball, to do any other thing, it's they don't want to know about it. You go and play ball, they will beat you. You know, for going to play. You go to swimming pool, you know, you come back from home, they say your eyes is red and you must be coming from swimming pool or whatever. They will beat you because of that. You understand? So the concentration is that you just have to do well in your school. And again, I'm somebody that live downtown. What I mean downtown in Lagos, it means you live in a rough environment. You understand? I grew up in Idioro, for example. I mean, you know Lagos so well. So I grew up in Idioro, which Mushin axis.
That's strict.
Yes, and then you have to be streetwise. Okay, you have to mingle. You have to know how to defend yourself. You have to know how to get out of trouble and all those. So even though we have all these rough edges, okay, there are few families that they have that zeal that the children should not lose track, the children must succeed and all that. So for those things, I think their family orientation as a child. I know you've been telling us you are Shoaga, you don't go back and come back to the house and say somebody did this to you. You know, you must defend your name, you must defend yourself. Those are the kind of thing philosophy I grew up with. You know, it's just like later I started reading about Ford, about Rockefeller, about Kennedy family. I realized that from childhood too, they were telling their children, remember you are JF family, you are Rockefeller family, this is what you have to do, this is how to walk and all that. You know, we may not be as sophisticated as they are, but as a child growing up, I was so conscious of my home. Okay, and everybody in my family, we know that, come on, either a woman or a man, we always tell you that I'm from Shoaga family. And there are some things I can't take, you know what you can take, what you can take. And you know your name is just priority to you. You understand?
Awesome.
It's your
Awesome.
So yeah, we're conscious of those things, even though we live in a rough environment, you know. We later moved to Ikeja. But the real me actually was Idioro, which means you have to learn the secret of survival. You know?
The way you put it, you have to learn the secret of survival.
Yeah.
So I want to bring this in because things has changed, culture has changed. The way your parents raised you might not be the exact template you used to raise your own kids. What are the philosophies you now use based on the change in culture that you used to raise your kid to still maintain the integrity of the name?
You know, the only thing my dad told me when I was leaving Nigeria was, remember the son of whom you are.
Oh, that's all.
That's the only thing he said. Okay. And that thing registered in my head. Okay. And now it registers in my head and I sing that to my children every day. You know?
Wow.
My children may not have the luxury that I enjoy as a child. Okay. But I think they have benefit of moral standard. You know, maybe the only thing I added to my kids, at least the first two, was the philosophy of developing your mind and developing your body, which I borrowed from from the Chinese philosophy. So I also included that in my children's growth. You know, at the time, my first two boys, I'll have to take them to somewhere to learn self-defense, to learn karate and all those stuff, judo and also. So that's the only thing I added. But every other thing I learned as a child, I tried to put into my children's. The value of education, the humility is very key. Respect for humanity is not necessarily the elders. You respect your equals. Get my children to understand that every human being deserves respect, and then you deserve respect too. And to respect other people, you must respect yourself. And to love any other person, you must love yourself. So they're conscious of who they are, they're conscious of the values. But yes, they are very humble people, because that's the hallmark in my own family. And all my children, they have that. Okay, but they speak when they have to speak. But they can be quiet when they want to be quiet. You understand? You don't need to be hard all the time. So, and all my children, they have all that spirit. So I think it doesn't matter which environment, which generation you are in. Okay, the parents or the home has major role to play. What is happening now is that we're almost losing home. The home is less than 40% value that people get from home. People are concerned so much about education. They're concerned about the school. They think the school will make the children, but it's not true. Home will make the children. We give them the right value they have. And then the school will only moderate for them, help to widen their brain and all that, the values. But the real core of who you are is from the home. Of course, I believe in the principle saying that every human being is determined by heredity and environment. Heredity coming from the parents and environment where you live. Okay, the combination of the two determines who you are. Okay, so it means the key thing is your home, which is going to give you the basic. When you have the basic, when you go to the environment may want to influence you, but you still remain who you are. That will allow you to take what you want from society and what you don't want, you drop it. Because when you take it home, you can't even take it home. You understand? You can't take it home. I mean, if you know what I mean by living in the places like Ajegunle, like Mushin,
very rough area.
Bagada, all those rough environments, Oshodi, there are attributes of children living coming from those areas. Okay, and then for people like us that want to excel, we have two things to fight. Okay, you first of all fight to survive in your environment. Okay, and to excel in your environment. Then we have other people to compete with. They are Jebutters. You understand? This is relevant because I am somebody that participates a lot in debates and quiz. Okay, it doesn't matter where your school is. You still have a point where you meet children from King's College, from St. Timbers, from all top schools. You understand? So you also want to excel. Maybe that give us that note that you want to excel. So you read more, you learn more. You understand? You want to prove yourself. From childhood, I think that's always there. Okay, and coupled with the home you're coming from, that you can't go back and give story. Okay, they will provide you everything you need, but you must come back to succeed. So
awesome.
I think that what makes it different. So for me, yes, we have our advantages. The only thing we do at that time, you read novels. Like I tell people, I said I read most in my life when I was in secondary school. Okay, because there was competitions about novels. How many Adichis have you read among friends? You want to prove that you read about 30, 20 copies of Adichis, different books, and how many African novels have you read? So it's a kind of competition among friends. Okay, so that makes us to read more. And for me, I do more than that. Okay, in terms of participating in quiz, you'll have to learn from dictionary. I read dictionary a lot and
Wow.
things like that. So,
Wow,
but
awesome,
in your
awesome.
generation, I think you have more than enough to
We
learn.
have we have too much.
Too much. And I think it affects a lot of the people. But some people are using it
Exactly.
very well. Some people are using it very well.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, a lot of younger people, when people are saying Nigerian education is bad, I always tell them I don't agree with it. You know why?
Mm-hmm. Go
When
ahead,
I
sir.
check some of the schools, my children when they were in school, when I look at the things they are teaching them, I was not taught the same thing when I was at their level.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So the syllabus is
Mm-hmm.
higher.
Wow.
And they are excelling. And all these people, there's no Nigerian that I know that is serious-minded Nigerian that school well in Nigeria and travel abroad and will not excel.
Sure.
I've
Sure.
not seen any. You understand?
Wow.
I'm talking serious-minded people that are focused on what they travel for. They're always excelling. So
Yeah.
why? If our education is that bad, then it won't be that way. So we
Yeah.
should stop
Sure. I
destroying
agree, sir.
ourselves. We stop saying negative things about ourselves. Our education is not that bad. There are some bad
Wow.
people, yes, okay, who don't do well, yes, but we should not rub that on everybody.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much
So
for that. Thank you so much.
thank God.
I want to pick on, you said when you were in Mexico, you had a friend, a Japanese, and perhaps you were in partnership with her. And I also realized that in HGR Limited, it's a partnership company. So I'm seeing that you are very grounded in partnering with other people to start a business or to run business. I want to ask, were there some mistake you made then? And how do you protect yourself when you are in a partnership business with other people?
Hmm. Partnership is good, but partnership um, in Nigeria, it's very peculiar.
Hmm.
Okay, there are good people in Nigeria, but there are so many bad people in Nigeria. One of the problems we have in Nigeria is trust.
Trust, yeah.
Okay, which is the foundation of everything. Okay, I have so many people in the past where partnership with them has failed. Okay,
Oh,
but I had few partnerships that have succeeded. You understand? So in general, I would say partnership is possible, but at the same time, be careful when you are having your selections.
So what do you look out for, sir?
What do I look out for? At this stage of mine, maybe I can still do partnership because I have one or two foreigners we're talking, okay? But partnership in Africa has a lot of complications.
Oh,
I was trying to engage with one in Niger, for example, and it was fantastic. It was romantic. It was enticing. Okay,
wow.
but the problem in Africa is how steady is our policies. How steady is our
Yeah.
government? You understand? When we're in the
Okay.
middle of transaction, somewhere along the line, they had a new government. Military took over the government in Niger. I was
Oh,
in Nigeria at that time, and for whatever conflicts within the West African leaders, decided to close border for Niger. The Nigerians are also reacting to people from other West African countries.
wow.
Okay, And that, of course, discouraged me from going further with the transaction. This is a transaction that involves a lot of money. I've spent a lot of money.
Wow.
Okay. But yeah, there was still effort to get me back. But the question is, if I have the same money, can I do the business in Nigeria? Yes, I can. But in terms of opportunity in Niger is just enormous.
Wow.
You understand? And that's where it is in many African countries. So, because as Nigerians, we are ahead of quite a lot of them. We may not value ourselves, but the truth is that we have a country that is far ahead of most African countries. Okay.
Wow.
So partnership is okay, but the challenges you have to look at is government policies, particularly when you're doing intercontinental or with other countries. Okay, you have to look out for this because you are not in your country. That's a limit, some challenges and all that. You can always overcome it, but again, maybe if I'm 25 years or 30 years younger, maybe I can go ahead taking some. Okay, but I just look at myself at 70, for God's sake, what exactly am I looking for? You understand? I have children that have grown up, but they're not ready to come to Nigeria. Okay, are they ready to participate in other countries? They are not really keen. So, what happens to you? You know, so you have to have a rethink in such direction. Okay, and particularly because Africa is a delicate terrain when you want to do business. But Africa has the highest opportunity for anybody to succeed. You understand? Than anywhere in Europe. African has it, no doubt about it. So I encourage any younger person that feel he still has the energy to also look behind Nigeria. You understand? So the sky is just the beginning.
Thank you so much for that. I see that there's a lot in partnership, especially when you are looking beyond Africa or beyond Nigeria. So let's dive into GCI. I've had several people on this podcast, and one way or the other, some of them were connected to you. I met Uncle Shoaga. Uncle Shoaga said this to me. He said this to me, and I never forgot. So I've been wondering. I want to start with, what does JCI mean to you? I want you to tell us how you also joined JCI.
What JCI means is JCI is another part of life to me. Okay, I have many parts of life.
Oh wow!
But JCI means life. It means a section of life. I belong to two organizations.
Okay.
JCI and Nawaruddin. Nawaruddin is my Islamic organization where I worship. So those are just the two organizations that I belong. Okay. So my life is between those two, and perhaps my business, my family. So if you look at it, those are the four areas that I spend my life in my family. Sorry, in my entire life. JCI, my religion, my family,
business,
my business. You understand? Those are just the four areas. Even though the business is gradually slowing down, but I won't stop. At least as long as I'm alive, we'll get something in. Because new ideas start coming, and you continue to create new ideas and move on with other areas. So those are the four areas. So that shows you how important JCI is to me. Okay. When I joined, or what was the second leg of the question?
Yeah. How did you join JCI?
Okay. For people like me, I think I was unlucky to know about JCI. for a long time.
Oh.
You know, maybe I didn't school here, but I lived my early life after school in Lagos. But I never come across of a JCI, even in Lagos.
Wow.
Until I moved to Abuja, that's when I got in touch with, I got to know about JCI. A friend, you know, a young man walked into my office, and I had a colleague sharing office. You know, she's he's townswoman.
Okay.
So it was just on a visit. I was talking to the woman about JCI. Okay. But the woman, for whatever reason, she was not paying attention. But I was listening to her, I was getting fascinated. You know, so when the guy was about to leave, I asked him to come. So he came to me and I said, come. That JCI you're talking about, what is do you have literature? He said, yes, he has literature. And I said, well, except he bring it for me. I said, well, I want to read them. I heard what you said, but I want to read them myself. So I think about a week later, he came back with some literature for me, and I read about JCI. Okay. And then that's how I got to know about JCI, and that was how I joined JCI. That person was Mike Baffo. Okay. Mike Baffo. That's his name. Mike Baffo. Okay. He's a senator now too. Okay.
Wow.
And then that was the time that Abuja Metro Junior Chamber at that time actually was having so much problem because they hosted NatCon, and at the end of the convention, they inherit some debts and they fought themselves, and the chapter scattered.
Wow.
So Mike and maybe 3 other people were the one trying to resuscitate the chapter. You understand? And then that was how I came in. And then I saw the league of other young people, college, or quite a few of them. So we started together like that. And that's how AMJC was revived and came back. And thank God it's still existing now. You know? So, and that time I was, I think I was already, I think I was around 34.
Wow.
You know, I was around 34 when I joined. So from there, we started bringing back the organization, recruiting more members, and then the person that seems to have good knowledge of JC at that time was Mike Baffo. Okay, so we're learning the little we could learn from him. And then there's this fellow in Kaduna, Niyi Olutubo. He used to be Niyi Olutubo. Changed his name to Niyi Olutubo. Niyi was a past national president.
Wow.
Okay, I hope you've heard about him. He was a JCI senator and a past national president. But that was before he became the national president. I was in Kaduna with 1 or 2 other friends, visited him and asked him about JCI. Fortunately, he has a big library, and I think half of it was more about JCI literature.
Oh, wow.
So I copied a lot of things from him, made several copies. And that was the beginning of getting to know about JCI. You know, at that time, it's a difficult thing to learn about JCI because you cannot call them direct. What you do, you send a mail, you send a letter to them, reply you, you know, when you want to buy. I remember that time, we wanted to buy Robert Rule of Law and Slide Rule. We have to send a mail to them, and before they reply and send the package. I mean, everything took almost about 3 months, you know, before we can get it. Something you can go to internet now and just Google. It's open to you. So, but we learned the hard way, and that, of course, gives us opportunity to understand JCI more. because we learn through hard copies. And at that time, we have to literally memorize JCI Constitution, JCI Nigerian Constitution, and your local chapter Constitution. You know.
Wow.
So you have to master all those things. Well, that's how I joined.
Wow.
And then
Awesome.
I got to know about
Awesome.
JCI.
So I want to ask, because it seems like there is a gap between our own generation, because I know some young people will be watching this after we publish it, and your own generation. What are the things you think we are not getting right, especially those that are just joining JCI? And what will you say to them? What are the encouragement, or what are the shifts in mindset you would like to bring to us, sir?
Well, I don't think there's so much gap the way people put it. Okay. My understanding is that JCI is it's a world on its own. It contains everything you need, and sometimes everything you don't need.
That's a big sentence.
Okay, so it's left to you to decide what you want. Okay, and I tell my younger friends, what you put in is what you get out.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's left to you to decide, this is what I want out of this year. You understand? We all know the definition, the philosophy, the mission, you know, all those things about JCI. We all know it, okay? But what do we do with it? What exactly that give you attraction to JCI? You understand? What exactly give you attraction to JCI? How well do you want to pursue it? You know, different people, different strokes, depending on what you want, okay? And I will tell you, what is happening to your generation is not different from what happened to some people in my own generation. Or some people that came after us. Okay, there's always this dichotomy between upcoming generation. But perhaps what is peculiar about my generation is commitment, you know, the zeal to succeed and to excel. Because board meetings at that time, everybody wants to present a report that will be the best. You understand? And again, if your report, you could see somebody else you admire, okay, well, this is what you did. Okay, next time I want to get better than you are. No, it's a healthy competition.
Healthy competition.
Everybody just want to excel. I think that there are people that still stand out now, even with this current generation. You understand? There are people that still stand out. And they are still mess up. Maybe among the board members there, you know, I feel we can have 70 to 80% that are thorough JCs.
Wow.
You understand? I cannot say that about this generation. Okay? Because I've seen people, JCI members, that actually they have ambition to lead this organization sometimes. And they will have opportunity to be invited to the board, and they will not perform. And after that year, they also want to get another appointment or want to contest for another office. The last one you left, you didn't do well. Why do you want to do the next one? You understand? Unfortunately, the people in the chapters also want to feel that they should let them go and all this stuff. So for me, I think a lot depends on what people want out of the organization. Okay, I do not believe. Yes, we have more. I don't think we have. I won't say. I don't like to say we have more commitment. Okay, Because in this generation, I've known a lot of younger people to me that they've displayed a lot of commitment. They still spend their money, they still attended conferences, they go to World Congress. How else do you want to show your commitment? And when you are given an assignment, they excel in their assignments. So, but there are few that don't do well. It's allowed. My own concern is that those few that are not doing well, okay, should not be the one to lead the organization.
Yeah.
You get it? But in most cases, they are the one that they are noise makers. Okay, they are fine boys and fine girls. Their show is like show business. You understand?
Yeah.
But the people that actually stand by what organization is about, in most cases, they may not pursue the highest of the. So that's what I always encourage. Get people to encourage.
Thank you so much, sir. That was so profound.
Thank you.
So I want to ask, looking back in retrospect, because it's been years back, were there some things that you feel you didn't do well, or if you had the opportunity to rewrite your story, you'd have done better, that we can learn from?
In JCI or in life?
No, in your life generally.
In life generally. First, let me say in JCI, no regrets.
Wow.
The only thing probably I would say is that I didn't join JCI early. I would have wished I joined JCI maybe 5 years before the time I joined. Okay, that is for JCI. But outside that, I think I enjoy my time in JCI. I enjoy my peace. I enjoy my time. But in life, I think what I would just say, for me, I'm somebody that I don't really count my losses. Okay, I move on with life. Every experiences you have in life is something to take you to a higher height. Okay, it depends how you respond to it. And I put things behind me a lot. Okay, I don't allow anything to hold me down. If we fall, learn to rise again. Okay, but something very important I think young people should take seriously, both men and women, is marriage.
Marriage. Okay. Wow. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, you may not. It's very possible. The women are more conscious about marriage than men. Okay, there are a lot of factors to it. But men don't think about marriage at all. They just think of good time until one time it will just occur to a man that I think I want to get married. Okay, and they now pick the woman based on who comes their way. You understand? Sometimes they can be lucky to pick the right person. Sometimes they can be unlucky to pick the wrong person.
Wow.
It will happen to a man. It will happen to a woman. So what I'm trying to say is that marriage is a serious business. It's a very, very serious business because it's something that's going to take the chunk of your life away from you. So think seriously about it. Have your clear picture of what you want. Pray about it. You might seek counseling from 1001. Your decision is yours because only you will be responsible. You understand? So that's the only thing I would ask younger people to watch out for. You understand? Don't just rock
so much for that.
Age up.
Thank you so much for that. So you're a very respectable person in JCI. As a matter of fact, when I shared your design, people were saying, "Oh wow, how did you get him? Oh, that's great, this and this and that." What made you earn that respect from people? That's question one. Question two is, what are the mindsets that you uphold so high that has helped you to get to where you are today?
Let's take the question one by one.
So the first one is
Yes.
I see that people respect you a lot in JCI. What has made you earn such respect from people?
I think one should learn to respect people. Like I said
Is it
earlier,
that
respect
simple?
yourself,
Yeah.
and respect others. Okay.
Wow.
And I tell people something. I say JCI is an organization of equal.
Mm.
Okay. A lot of people don't take that note. A lot of people always think in JCI, some people think they are smart, you know, they are more intelligent, they are better educated, they have money. All those things will give you wrong focus. But
Wow.
if you believe JCI is a level ground, it's an organization of equal. Everybody you are talking to has gone to school. Okay.
Mm.
So you expect them to behave well. And except people prove who they are for you, to you, you come to respect them. So the first rule is
Mm.
respect yourself. You know what it means to respect yourself. It takes a lot to respect yourself. You don't put your
Wow.
mouth where you shouldn't. You don't speak about everything that you know.
Mm.
Okay. If they don't ask you a question, you don't give answer. Humble yourself.
Mm.
Okay. Don't go to where you are not wanted. I mean, there are a lot of
Mm.
things that makes you respect yourself. Start from yourself
Mm.
and then know yourself. Okay. When you know yourself is when you develop yourself very well. The honor of a man is his intelligence and his wisdom.
The honor of a man is his intelligence
Yeah. And his
and his
wisdom.
wisdom. Wow.
So if you don't have those things, it doesn't matter what else you have. It doesn't matter to people like me anyway. You know, some people
Mm.
worship money, some people worship position and all that. Okay, I will always respect people with money, people with position, as long as they respect themselves. Okay,
Mm.
but if somebody with the wisdom, with knowledge, I will always appreciate them.
Awesome. Awesome.
So
So
that's
the next
that answer.
question is, what are the mindset? Are there some mindset you uphold that gives you the, shall I say, the leverage or that helps you to attain where you are today?
First, I want to succeed. Okay, whatever I
Oh.
do, okay, I don't believe anything is impossible. Okay, I don't believe God says you cannot do it or you should not do it. The only
Can I
way I
come in
can
here, sir?
prove, oh sure, quick.
So I had somebody on this, I had conversation with someone, and the person is, like, I'm not trying to go into religion now. Person spoke a lot about contentment in Islamic religion. Now you are saying you want to succeed. How would you balance contentment? And I know it's very core to your religion to wanting to succeed.
There's no limitation about anybody's whatever you want to be in life. Okay, there's no limitation to it. God actually has given you everything you need to get to the topmost. Okay,
So you should not be
but
contented, sir.
no, they should not mix it up. Contentment
Okay.
means you are satisfied with where you are after the effort you put into it.
Mm.
You understand? I made a comment. I said, I do not believe people say that God does not want people to do this, or that God putting God as hindrance. I do not believe that.
Mm.
The only way
Sure.
I only believe that God does not want me to go further is when I've tried my best,
Mm.
I've done everything that's humanly possible, and I've prayed about it, okay, and yet I couldn't get that thing. Then I believe where I say
Mm.
that's the way God wants it. That's where contentment
Sure.
comes. You know, I don't fight it further. I do something else.
Mm.
Okay. But if you just believe you are contented by taking anything that comes your way, that's not contentment. You understand?
True.
Contentment means accepting where you are, your position, after you've done all that's humanly possible to go beyond it, and you couldn't make it. So accept it.
True.
You understand? So
Yes,
that's
sir.
not contentment. Yes. Islam talks about contentment, okay, but not to hinder anybody's height. You
True.
understand? So
Yes, sir.
I believe I want to succeed, and I do everything humanly possible to succeed. Okay. And then I want to be rich. Okay.
Wow.
Not necessarily like Dangote, okay, but I want to have satisfaction, to have enough money to spend what I want to spend, to have what I want to have. You understand? And to take care of my
Yes, sir.
children, my family, the people around me, to help people. Because I ask me, what do you do with money at the end of the day? If you have so much, what do you do with it? Okay. First, you want, like myself, I tell you want to have a house in Abuja, fine. You have other house in Lagos, fine. You have other house in Abeokuta, fine. After that, what do you want to have? Okay, you cannot sleep in two rooms at the same
At the
time.
same time.
You cannot sleep at the two sides of the bed at the same time.
Yeah.
You get it? You just take your lane. So if that is where satisfaction comes in, because if not, you continue to dream more and more and more and more. What exactly will a man look for in life? Our goals differ. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I can't judge my own goal with those of my children. You get it? The same thing with my friends. Whatever my friends wish to have, good luck to them. Okay? But I know what I want and I feel satisfied with it. My friend might be riding Rolls Royce. Okay? I have my very good ML class. And it's functioning well and it's clean. The AC, everything is working.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm not going to rival with my friends. We're going to see and jolly together. You get it? So that's where the limitation of satisfaction comes in. So unless it's misused, any word can be misused. But those are my own, I think, what I look forward to. I look forward to have my children happy. Okay.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, I think I'll be able to push them to the level of satisfaction. Okay.
Wow.
So it's just my life. Now it's about me
Thank you
and my
for bringing,
Thank you very much.
Thank you for bringing clarity to that. I have two more questions because of time. I will not want to keep you beyond 1 hour. The second to the last question is, at your age, you are around 70. Some people are already giving up. Once they clock 70, they feel everything has ended. Are there some things you still want to do that is dear to your heart, even at this age?
Yeah. Islam teaches us to live today as if you are going to die any moment from now. Also encourages us to pray for long life. You know, where do you draw the line between the two? Okay. As for me, like I tell people, I pray to God. If God death comes right now, alhamdulillah, thank God for it.
Wow.
But I pray to God that I want to live for 120 years.
Wow.
So I pray.
What will you be doing if you want 20?
Oh, there's so much to do about life. There's so much to do. You understand? So I pray to God to give me good health, long life, and prosperity. So the three of them, I require them to succeed that long life.
Wow.
So there's so much to do. Being 70 is just a number. Okay. As long as I'm healthy, I will not run faster than my legs can carry me. But there's so much to do in this life. I still want to write more books. You know,
Wow.
I still want to influence more younger people as much as I can. Okay. I still want to help a lot of people. There are a lot of people that need help. Okay.
Mm.
Uh, those things are, the reward is endless. Okay. There are
Wow.
things you do that will live after you.
Mm.
So I don't want to, because of your time, that's why I'm trying to.
Yes, sir. So just to add to the question, you say you still want to help younger people. How do you
Yeah,
intend to do that? Is there a way you plan to help younger people or to be part of their life?
I've always been doing that. I can't remember how long. Okay.
Wow.
There are so many ways to help. Mere talking to people, giving them the right counseling is,
Yeah,
it looks simple, but it's very key. Okay.
true.
People that can give scholarship to, I give scholarship to them. I still give and I continue to give. Okay.
Wow.
There are no many, forget about the people you see in JCI. There are people that sell akara, sell momoy.
Mm.
That could be better person if they're in school. They couldn't go to school because
Wow.
their parents cannot send them to school.
True.
So there are so many of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, there are people that just require books.
Mm.
Okay. There are so many ways to help. Majorly
Yeah.
counseling, be relevant to people in your area. Um, if you live in an area where the road is not good and you can afford to fix it for them. If you
Mm.
can
True.
plant tree, you know, particularly plant tree with fruits. Believe me, these are
Mm.
things that will live far, far ahead of you. If you can
Wow.
sink a well, sink a well. If it's borehole, you can
Wow.
sink borehole. These are the things that your
Awesome.
reward will live after you hundreds of years after you've gone, as long as those things still there. So there are so many
True.
things you could
True.
do in life that will live after you. So at this age of mine,
Wow.
I think I want to do more of such things.
Wow. 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 Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. I'm done with my question. But last one, is there something is there a question you felt I should have asked that perhaps it skipped my mind because there is no organized question for this? Is there something you'd like to talk about before we end this?
Something I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Well, I don't preempt people. I believe you asked me the question you wanted to ask me. Um, I believe life is continuous.
Yes.
So we are free to, even outside this program, you are free to stop me anywhere and ask me any question. I don't have
Thank you
any
so much.
question to ask or to add, but I would rather say that JCs, um, they are wonderful people, and I
Yeah.
also want the younger people to understand that they are the architects of their life, and they
True.
should be conscious of that so early. Okay, if you
True.
are conscious of who you are, what you want to become early in life, it will help to straighten a lot of things for you. It will help your
Wow.
focus. It will also
Yeah.
guide you to know who do you relate with. People, there are so
Yeah.
many people in JCI. Unfortunately, younger people don't even know who to relate with. Okay,
True. Very
they
true. Very true, sir.
people go to conferences, just go and jollof, and every day they have training that says your net worth is your network.
Yeah. Is your
So
exactly, sir.
how do enhance those network?
Mm.
Okay, people should aspire to relate with people far older than them. Okay,
Mm.
you have a lot to learn from them. Okay, but don't cut off
Wow.
your equals and
Yeah.
people below you. Okay, your
Mm.
equals matters to you because they will recommend you. There are people that will speak well
Mm.
or negative of you. That are looking
Mm.
up to you, they are going to come and lead tomorrow. So be kind to them
Yeah.
too. So if you
Wow.
can work within 3 generations at the same time on hot, then you are good to go. But
Wow.
humility is the key to any human being to succeed. Humble yourself, and always keep learning. Learning is endless. So those are just my work advice to.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm glad I asked that question because what you said, the last thing you said, made everything beautiful. Working with the three generations, people before you, people at your level, and people far ahead of you. Thank you so much. I'm taking that out of here and many more. Thank you so much for honoring this invitation. I really appreciate. God bless you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you much. Thank you very much. God bless you too. Do have a
All right.
wonderful
Have
day.
a great day ahead, sir. Yeah, you too, sir.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.